Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about the I remember when technique. So the reason I'm bringing this up is, besides it being brought up in the Discord chat and from some of my clients, I got a call and my sister called me and she told me that I had 40,000 subscribers. So this is a 40,000 subscriber special, but when she called me, what I said was, I remember when I first started. And so I decided, in the light of that, in honor of 40,000 subscribers, in honor of you, that I would do the YouTube video based on the words that came out of my mouth directly after she told me that. But I just want to say, before I get into that, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. This blew up so fast. And I just, from what I find and from your feedback and from the emails and from talking to all my clients, what I find is that you want truth and you want accuracy. I find that those two things are what are lacking in the manifesting community, in the manifesting world. And so thinking back, that was the one thing that I needed more than anything in the world. I could not remain assured. I could not rest assured that my manifestations would come to pass. I could not bank on my manifestations. And so ask yourself now, with everything else besides this channel, how secure are you? Are you sick and upset that the accuracy and the kind of the accuracy and is kind of missing, or the regimentation or the predictability or the systemization of manifestation techniques? Like, generally speaking, in the community, that for me was what was missing. And so I'm glad that all of us together, with all the feedback, can come and kind of put this channel together, right? Because I look at this as a sum total of not only of my experience over the past 10 years or so, and all the reading, all the teachers, all the testing systematically, all the logging, all the data analysis, but also your feedback. And that's what this is. So anyway, thank you so much for this. And without further ado, let's hop into that technique. Oh, real quick, hit that like button. It does something with the algorithm so that people would not normally be able to see this video, would be able to see this video. Hit the subscribe and the bell icon. Stay tuned for more laser focused, systematic, predictable techniques on how to manifest. So I remember when. The I remember when technique is something that Neville Goddard references in one of his lectures, or a couple of his lectures, but I remember specifically he's giving an example of a story of some of his students. And the idea is to put yourself in a time and space where you already have something and you're looking back when you didn't have it. So I'll give you a concrete example of this, but what we do is, first of all, imagination creates reality. So all things imagined will be replicated and reproduced in the external world. So the imagination is the source of truth. The external world is the growth world, or the world of replication or reflection or refraction. And so when we bring something into our imagination, it will be pushed out. So the key then is to take the end result. So we list and when I say list, I mean be very clear on what it is that we want. So do you want money? Do you want wealth? Do you want happiness? Do you want health? Do you want marriage? Do you want love? You think about what you want, and then you think, what would happen if I had that thing? Remember, the imagination is pushed out. It's replicated. That's what manifestation is. It's the human imagination, which is the God of Scripture, refracts out the image that we push on it into the external world. And it's as simple as that. So the criteria then is to, in first person point of view, right, in emulation of reality, experience what we want. So if we're using the I remember when technique, what we do is we think, what do I want? I want money, whatever. Well, in this case, we'll go with money. We'll go with $100,000. We can think back. This is the technique. We think back on when we didn't have $100,000. So what that means is that there was a time when we did not have $100,000, or you did not have $100,000, but that you now have $100,000. So I remember when I did not have $100,000. I remember when I wasn't married to Jane. I remember when I had an injury. So the idea, it's very, very simple, but the idea is to take, the formula is take what you want and then do an imaginal scene of having it, but reflecting back on when you did not. So if we put this into an imaginal scene, for instance, say it was $100,000, as I said, I could bring into my mind's eye you, right? Say you are in my imagination right now. And in my imagination, I would be talking to you and saying to you, and perhaps even having my bank account with my $100,000 and thinking back and saying, the scene can go, I remember when, and I'm telling you this, I remember when I didn't have $100,000, right? And then perhaps having a prop, maybe my cell phone with a bank balance. And you can do the same thing with a wedding ring or marriage. I remember when, imagining in the mind's eye, I remember when I wasn't married to Jane, right? And I don't know who Jane is, I'm just making this up. But again, the point is that we are going to a place where we have it and we're reflecting back on a time that we don't. So let's say 1 million subscribers, or we'll do 100,000 subscribers, right? The scene could go something like the plaque, because YouTube gives you a plaque, right? It gives you like a silver plaque or a golden plaque when you hit a certain amount. And so looking at the silver plaque of 100,000 on the wall sitting next to someone, I could say to them and point at that, I remember when I didn't have that 100,000 subscribers, right? And I mean, here's the thing, visualization, we use visualization for almost, that's kind of what manifesting is known for, or that's the key to manifesting. But the truth is that it's not just visualization that you can use to utilize this technique. Now, just before I was sitting down with my pen and a piece of paper, and I had written down a statement as a prop, a fake prop, like a letter from someone, or another example of a prop would be a journal entry from the future. And I was just rereading it over and over and over again. It was just something I was doing for fun, but it had to do with business. And so I just wrote down a statement, and then I kept reading it over and over. So if you create a journal entry from the future, that could be another way to use this. So to write down, I remember when, like as if you're journaling to yourself. Sometimes I'll write, Dear God. Sometimes I'll write, Dear Subconscious. But I'll write down, Dear Subconscious, I am so grateful that I remember, I'm so grateful. I remember that's what I normally write. I am so grateful that I received, or I am so grateful that I have, but that's an aside. I remember when I didn't have 100,000 subscribers. I remember when I wasn't married to such and such. And one last technique you can use for this, or style of imagination that you can use for this, is just to use the inner voice. So saying to yourself, because you would, in essence, you could say to yourself, I remember when I wasn't married to so-and-so. I remember when I didn't have that raise at work. So it's a very simple technique, but nevertheless, it's very powerful. I specifically had one of my clients recently talk to me about using it and mending a relationship that we thought, we knew it was possible, but that everyone thought would be impossible to mend. And so what she did was she would just kept repeating the phrase to herself. I remember when me and such were on bad terms, or whatever. I forget what she said specifically. But within days, it fixed. The woman apologized and everything is all good. So anyway, thank you guys so much for 40,000. It happened so fast. The amount of change on my life is something that it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I'll tell you what, I love teaching manifestation. I love going in, talking to you, getting your input, and posting videos specifically on step-by-step instructions on how to do whatever it is that we want to do with manifestation. And here's the thing, all things are possible. And if you go about manifesting in a systematic, testing way, you will watch your world will change dramatically. So thank you so much for watching this. Stay tuned for more.